Have you ever truly stopped and thought about this? What if tomorrow never comes in your life? Just think about it deeply. Every day we say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow, I'll decide tomorrow. But what if that tomorrow never arrives? Feels a bit scary for a moment, right? And that fear is important because it can wake you up. Now let me ask you a simple question. Answer honestly, without fooling yourself. What is the most important thing you've been postponing lately? Your studies, a career decision, your health, or that dream you've been waiting for the right time to pursue? Do you know what the most dangerous thing is? Procrastination never hurts you immediately. It gives you comfort, a false comfort, a fake relief. The moment you delay a task, your mind says, let's relax for a bit, I'm not in the mood right now, I'll do it better later. And that's where the slow process of becoming hollow from within begins. Because from the outside, you look completely normal, but inside, a voice dies every single day, the voice that once said, you can do something great. Now think about this. Have you ever heard a successful person say, I achieved everything in life by postponing everything to tomorrow? Never. Because success and procrastination can never exist in the same room. In this video, I'm not going to give you loud, empty motivation. No hollow dialogues. No, you can do it, kind of vague talk. Instead, I'm going to share 3 powerful principles inspired by Swami Vivekananda that won't just motivate you, they will shake the foundation of your thinking. And listen carefully. If you don't just hear them but truly understand them, your tomorrow will permanently turn into today. But before that, let me tell you a truth. It's a bit harsh, but necessary. Procrastination is not laziness. It's not a time management issue. Procrastination is actually a mental problem, where a person knows what is right, yet doesn't act on it. You know studying is important, yet you don't study. You know exercise is necessary, yet you don't do it. You know you should learn new skills, yet you keep scrolling endlessly. Now ask yourself, if you know that fire burns, would you put your hand into it? No, right? Then why are you knowingly letting your life burn? This is exactly the question Swami Vivekananda would ask you if he were here today. And now let's talk about fear, because fear is also necessary. Imagine your future self, 5 years from now, looking at you today. What does that version of you see? The same excuses? The same, I'll start tomorrow? The same unfinished dreams? Or does it see that today, you made a decision, that you will no longer delay? Because remember, the future doesn't build itself. It has to be built now. And now, a slightly fun but dangerous question. If procrastination were a person, would you make it your friend? That friend who always says, let's skip it for now, there's no hurry, let's just enjoy for the moment. At first, it feels very pleasant. But that same friend eventually leaves you far behind. Now let's talk about excitement, because without excitement along with fear, change doesn't happen. Just imagine, what if right after this video, you start doing just one thing? Just one. What could happen? One day, then the second day, then the third day. Before you even realize it, you won't be the same person who was watching this video. That's the excitement. That's the power. The most important thing is this. You have limited time. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm telling you the truth. Every day you postpone something, that day never comes back. It gets directly subtracted from the balance sheet of your life. And the most dangerous thing is, life doesn't give warnings. No notice, no alarm. One day, you simply look back and say, I wish I had started that day. Now listen very carefully, very carefully. The third principle in this video is such that if you truly hear it till the end, you'll ask yourself, how did I keep making this mistake for so long? And maybe, just maybe, you'll stop lying to yourself for the first time. So watch till the end. Don't skip. Because procrastination is not just a habit, it is a silent enemy. It doesn't shout, It simply steals your life. And today is the day to stop it. Swami Vivekananda once said very clearly, "Time is the greatest teacher, but unfortunately, it kills all its students." Now pause and feel this line. Time teaches you, but if you don't learn, the same time punishes you. Procrastination is the most dangerous enemy of time. And notice this, it doesn't make noise. It doesn't shout. It doesn't come to scare you. It never arrives with a weapon or a threat. It comes gently with a smile, placing a hand on your shoulder and saying, "Not now, we'll do it later." And you agree, because it feels comfortable. And that's where the game ends. Because procrastination is a disease where you don't feel pain, but the damage happens every day. A student who is delaying studies feels happy right now, scrolling on the phone, watching videos, enjoying life. But tomorrow, yes, tomorrow, that same student will read the book of regret. When the results come, when competition rises, when someone else moves ahead, that's when they'll realize when the real loss happened. A young person who is delaying learning skills is also happy right now. They say, "There's still time, I'm still young, let me enjoy life for now." But tomorrow, that same person will get lost in the crowd. They will have a degree, but no direction. Dreams, but no skills. And the most dangerous thing, procrastination never comes alone. It brings excuses with it. "I'm not in the mood right now. I don't have the energy. I'll definitely start tomorrow." Have you noticed that tomorrow never gives you a date? It just keeps making promises. Now ask yourself, how many tomorrows have you stored in your life? And now, a bit of humor, but one that stings with truth. If procrastination were an Olympic sport, would we have already won a gold medal? Imagine the event, a race of delaying tasks, and even before reaching the starting line, we say, "We'll run tomorrow." It's funny, and it should be, because the truth hidden behind that laughter is actually terrifying. The problem is not that we don't have time. That's the biggest lie we tell ourselves. The truth is, we take time lightly. We think time is unlimited. We think life is long. But life is not long. Either life becomes deep and meaningful, or it passes by empty. Swami Vivekananda used to say that every single moment of time is an opportunity given by God, and the one who wastes this opportunity actually wastes themselves. Now let's talk about fear, because sometimes fear is necessary. Just imagine, if you continue this same procrastination for the next 5 years, what will your life look like? The same situation, the same complaints, blaming others, and worst of all, you won't even have the courage to look yourself in the eye. Because when a person knows they didn't even try, failure hurts the most. Procrastination doesn't make you a failure. It keeps you away from trying. And the one who never tries has no story, only excuses. Now let's talk about excitement, because every problem has a solution. Understand this clearly. Procrastination is not a permanent trait. It is a learned habit. And anything that can be learned can also be changed. You are the same person who is watching this video today, and you can also become the person who takes action tomorrow. The difference lies in just one decision. The most important part, time does not wait. It doesn't wait for your fear. It doesn't wait for your mood. It doesn't wait for your comfort zone. It just keeps moving and leaves marks behind. And if you don't build something on those marks, one day those very marks will remind you of how much you lost. And from here begins Vivekananda's first principle, a principle that strikes at the root of procrastination. But before that, one last question. If even today you say, "I'll think about it after the video," then how are you any different from this habit? Real change doesn't begin with thinking. It begins with starting. And the next part will teach exactly that. Swami Vivekananda's greatest mantra was, "Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached." Now listen carefully. He didn't say, "Get up and make a plan." He didn't say, "Wait for the right time." He said, "Get up, awaken, and do not stop." That means, right now, this very moment, this very second. Because Vivekananda understood one thing very clearly. It is not the future, but the present that is responsible for changing a person's life. The biggest cure for procrastination is immediate action. Not big action. Not perfect action, just action. But our mind is clever. It says, either do it perfectly or don't do it at all. And that's where we get trapped. The mind says, read the whole book, and the brain replies, that's too big, leave it. But if you tell your mind, just 2 pages, the brain says, that's manageable. The mind says, let's do a full gym session, and the brain says, not now. But if you say, just wear your shoes, the brain goes silent. Now tell me, this sounds funny, right? That's the trick. The mind fears big tasks, but not small ones. And that's why the wall of procrastination is broken by small actions. Now understand this. Procrastination doesn't happen because of laziness. It happens because of fear. The fear of failure. The fear of starting wrong. The fear of what others will say. And the mind gives this fear a polite name, not now. Vivekananda believed that fear is not defeated by thinking, it is defeated by action. The moment you take a small action, fear gets its first shock. And that shock is very important. Now hear a truth. It might sting a little. Motivation never makes you get up and work. Motivation comes after you start working. You must have noticed, when you begin a task, your mind feels heavy. But after 10 minutes, something changes. Why? Because after you take action, your brain releases chemicals that give you the energy to move forward. That's why Vivekananda said, first act, and motivation will follow on its own. But we do the opposite. We say, I'll do it when I feel like it, I'll do it when motivation comes. And motivation says, start working first, then I'll come. That's where life gets stuck. Now let's talk about excitement, because what I'm about to tell you can become one of the most powerful tools in your life. Just imagine, if for every task you've been postponing for months, you give just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. Do you know what happens in 2 minutes? A beginning. And the beginning is the hardest part. Once you start, the path begins to open on its own. This is very important. You think you have a lot of time. But the truth is, you only have now. There's no guarantee of tomorrow. No guarantee of your mood. No guarantee of circumstances. The only thing you can rely on is this present moment. And this moment will either become your greatest strength or your biggest regret. Now a question filled with fear. If you don't start today, then when will you? Next week. Next month. Next year. And if you don't start now, what guarantee is there that you'll have the same willpower then? Vivekananda said, power exists within every person, but it awakens through action. Now a small pattern interrupt. Tell me honestly, why are you watching this video? There's something inside you that wants to change. And that same voice is asking you for action right now. Not something big, just something small. And that small action will lead you to the second principle. Because one question still remains. If it's so simple, then why are people still afraid? The answer lies in the next principle, and it might make you uncomfortable. If you want to understand the root of procrastination in one word, that word is fear. And this fear is not just one, it appears in many forms. Fear of failure, fear of what people will say, fear of making mistakes, and most dangerously, fear of facing yourself. Swami Vivekananda said very clearly, fear is sin. Fear is death. This is not some heavy philosophy, it's a direct warning. Fear doesn't kill you, it stops you from living. Whenever you delay a task, you're not really running away from the task. You're running away from the fear attached to it. You don't avoid studying because the book is thick. You avoid it because you fear that even after studying, you might not succeed. You don't avoid learning a skill because you don't have time. You avoid it because you fear that even after learning, you might turn out average. And this fear traps you very cleverly. It says, let's think more first, let's plan a little more, let's prepare completely first. And you keep thinking, keep planning, and your whole life passes in preparation. Now let me ask you an honest question. Answer it truthfully, no need to tell anyone. Has it ever happened that you were very scared of doing something, but the moment you started, you told yourself, this wasn't even that difficult? That's the truth. Fear is at its strongest before you begin. The moment you start, it begins to shrink. But our mind doesn't easily accept this. It clings to past experiences. In the name of protecting you, it holds you back. Vivekananda said, do not bow before fear, walk through it. This means don't try to eliminate fear. Move forward despite it. If you feel fear, that's a good sign. It means you are stepping outside your limits. And the one who never steps beyond their limits can never achieve greatness. Now let's talk about excitement, because within fear lies hidden power. You may have noticed that when you do something despite fear, the feeling afterward is on a completely different level. A sense of confidence, satisfaction, and realization, I can do this. And that feeling prepares you for the next step. But playing with fear can also be dangerous. If you don't defeat fear again and again, it starts becoming stronger, and you become weaker. Today you run from small fears. Tomorrow, bigger fears stand in front of you. And one day, fear itself becomes your identity. Now imagine something a bit frightening. Picture yourself at 50 years old, looking back at your life. What will hurt you the most? The things you did, or the things you never did because of fear? Most people break at this point, because the pain of failure fades with time, but the regret of not trying stays for life. That's why Vivekananda said, courage is the true religion. Now a small pattern interrupt. If fear is so bad, should we live without fear? No, not at all. Without fear, a person becomes careless. Fear is necessary, but you should be its master, not its servant. Use fear like a compass. Where there is fear, there is growth. Now a very important question, and it's a bit uncomfortable. If fear can be controlled, if you learn to move forward despite fear, then why do some people still remain stuck in procrastination their entire lives? Why do some people fail to move forward even after overcoming fear? The answer is deep, and many people don't want to face it, because it directly hits their self-respect. And now comes the most powerful and most overlooked principle, the one that will take you beyond fear. But for that, you must face yourself with complete honesty. Swami Vivekananda considered self-respect as the foundation of life. For him, self-respect was not ego, it was the strength of the soul. He clearly said, until you believe in yourself, you cannot believe in God. Now understand this, it's not a religious statement. It's psychology. It's a law of life. Because a person who doesn't value themselves cannot value their time, their dreams, or their life. Now think honestly, what is procrastination really? It's not just delaying work. It is a message you send to your mind every single day. I am not that important right now. My dreams can wait. My life is not a priority. And when you send this message again and again, your mind starts believing it. That's where self-destruction begins. No explosion happens. No accident occurs. Slowly, a person begins to fall in their own eyes. The person who doesn't take themselves seriously, life doesn't take them seriously either. People treat you the way you treat yourself. If you keep postponing your goals, the world will also postpone you. If you take your dreams lightly, circumstances will treat you lightly too. If you are delaying your goals right now, then believe it, you are disrespecting your own future. It's harsh, but it's true. And truth always stings. Now take a silent moment. Just a few seconds. Imagine, If your future self were standing in front of you right now, what would it say? It may not shout. It may not even be angry. It would just look at you and ask, "Was I so unimportant that you kept postponing me every single day?" That question is terrifying, because no one else will answer it. You will. Now understand why Swami Vivekananda used the word mission. He said, "Make your life a mission." Why? Because missions are not postponed. You don't wait for the mood for a mission. You don't stay in your comfort zone for a mission. For a mission, a person rises above fear, laziness, and excuses. And now comes the exciting part, because this is where change begins. The day you stop treating your goal as just a task and start treating it as a mission, procrastination begins to die. Because then you're not working for someone else, you're working for your self-respect. You are keeping a promise you made to yourself. A person can endure many things, but breaking promises to themselves again and again breaks them from within. This is very important. Your self-respect is built by the decisions you make right now. Not by yesterday, not by tomorrow, by today. The thing you postponed today was not just a task, it was a piece of your self-respect. And if this keeps happening every day, one day you won't be able to look yourself in the mirror. Now a small pattern interrupt. Tell me honestly, are you truly proud of yourself? If the answer is not a complete yes, then procrastination is the reason. Because self-respect is not built by big victories, it is built by small daily decisions. Did you do the task or not? Did you lie to yourself or not? Did you start or not? These decisions either build you or break you. Swami Vivekananda said, "A person becomes what they believe themselves to be." If you see yourself as someone who will do things tomorrow, life will make you exactly that. But if you see yourself as someone who acts now, life will be forced to change with you. And now, one final and uncomfortable question. If you still don't place your self-respect above a single task, then when will you? Remember, this third principle is the most overlooked, because it is the most truthful. But the decision has to be yours. Now the question is not whether you can quit procrastination or not. The truth is, you can. Every person can. The real question is something else, and it's a bit scary. The question is, do you want to save yourself or not? Because procrastination is not a small habit. It is a slow, daily act of self-destruction, quietly, silently, without any noise. Remember, every time you delay a task, you're not just delaying the work, you are weakening the lion within you. And every time you say, "Not now," your self-confidence bends a little more. But every time you take action despite fear, every time you work even without the mood, you're not just doing a task, you are living the teachings of Swami Vivekananda. Vivekananda was not just a speaker, he was a doer. His life itself was an example. He didn't wait for perfect conditions. He didn't complain about time. He didn't look for comfort. He said, "Start with what you have as it is right now." And now, the same question is being asked to you. After this video ends, you will have two paths. The first path, you say, "It was a good video, very motivating. I'll start tomorrow." And everything remains exactly the same. The second path, you don't overthink, you don't wait for perfection, you don't announce it to anyone, you just start one task. The one you've been delaying the most. Not finishing it, just starting it. Because starting itself is the biggest victory. Now think about the excitement. This is the moment where life takes a turn. Imagine, if you just start today, how will you be after 1 week? After 1 month? After 1 year? You won't be the same person who is watching this video right now. You'll be stronger, calmer. You'll trust yourself. And that trust won't come from motivation, it will come from your own actions. This is very important. You don't have unlimited time. I'm not saying this to scare you, I'm telling you the truth. Every day you delay is cut off from your life. And life doesn't offer recharges. If you don't start today, tomorrow will bring the same excuse. And the day after tomorrow as well. And one day, you'll ask yourself, how did I fall so far behind? And the answer will be very clear, because every day, you refuse to save yourself. Now one final pattern interrupt. Just think, if today were your last day, could you honestly say, I gave it my all? If the answer is no, then you still have a chance. Because you are watching this video. That means you are awake. That means you are alive. And as long as a person is alive, a new beginning is always possible. And now, the final thing, listen very carefully. If this video shakes you from within, if it makes you uncomfortable, if it makes you restless, then understand, it wasn't just a video. It was a warning. A warning to stop running away from yourself. A warning to stop making your dreams wait. Rise, awaken, and start now, because later often turns into never. Friends, if these thoughts touched your heart, then bring them into your life and share them with others. Like the video, comment your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring content. Swami Vivekananda said, "Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached." See you in the next video with a new inspiration. Thank you.